All right, so yesterday, as I was watching, sitting back watching the Pelicans get absolutely like dominated, you know, absolutely obliterated by the Los Angeles Clippers. And as I was watching Kawhi Leonard specifically, I was tuning in on his game. I was thinking like, all right, this dude is an all-time, like, obviously he's just a great, great, great mid-range scorer. And then I started to think about it. Is Kawhi Leonard the second greatest mid-range scorer of all time? We got Jordan on that list. We got Kobe on that list. Another guy who's currently playing right now. If you don't watch his game, you guys need to go check out some CJ McCollum. Go watch some CJ McCollum mid-range shots. He's a mid-range assassin as well, and I believe he's on that all-time great mid-range scoring list. I know guys say people like George Gervin and a bunch of other guys, but guys, I've newsflash, I wasn't born in the 1970s, 80s. I never watched George Gervin play a live game, so I'm only going off of what I've seen from highlights, and I haven't watched George Gervin highlights often, okay? I've only watched couples, and I've only heard, from old heads talk about how great he was, and other guys as well. So, going from off of what I've seen and what I know, CJ McCollum, one of the greatest of all time mid-range scorers, and also Kawhi Leonard, I believe he's one of, if not the second greatest, because he's not Jordan. Nobody's ever going to be as great at mid-range as Jordan was, because Jordan mid-range was perfection, perfect. But if we're talking about like second greatest of all time, third greatest behind guys like Kobe, you could make I believe you could really make a case for Kawhi Leonard.
I mean, Kawhi Leonard last season with the Toronto Raptors averaged 42% from the mid range, and in 2016 when he was with the Spurs, 41%. 2015 he was at 42%. So he's been around 40% usually for most of his years, and Jordan's around 50%. So as you can clearly see, Jordan is he's the clear number one right now, and Kawhi. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can make the case for Kawhi being number two, and I know guys like Kobe as well, CJ McCollum have great statistics at the mid range, but I feel like we can't just go off of percentages. We have to go also off of what we see with our eyes, and what I see with my eyes is just mid range. Kawhi Leonard is just the second greatest of all time behind Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan, he has the great mid range statistics, and when I'm just looking at him, the eye test, he just feels that as well. And looking at this year, this 2020 season, CJ McCollum has been shooting 46%, 46.6%. He's also attempted the 12th most in the NBA. So the fact that he's attempting so many and he's this high is just absolutely insane. And in the NBA, he's one of the few to only to take at least 250 shots. So that's just absolutely insane. And if we go look at Kobe Bryant's statistics, Jordan, obviously earlier when I mentioned he was at 50% for his entire career, and Kobe Bryant for his entire career was 45.4%. So as you can see, Jordan is the clear number one. Kobe is number two. Kawhi is number three, and CJ is number four. But that's just going off of statistics. Now, if we include, things like, when you just actually watch the game, watching film, you could, arrange these people differently. You could have CJ at number three or number two. You could have Kawhi number two, number one, whatever. But, my personal mid-range list goes Jordan number one, Kawhi number two, Kobe number three, CJ McCollum number four. And, I would have to do, more research and really go deep to see who else I would have on my list. But between these four, that's how I believe it would go. These four are all great mid-range shooters, students of the game. They've all, really practiced in mid-range. And me, when I played basketball as a kid, I love shooting a mid-range jumper. Wasn't good at shooting a three-point shot. So, when I see guys like this really perfecting the mid-range, it makes me feel good inside.
But that's just my thoughts on this video. I believe, Paul George, he's another one as well who you could say, all-time great mid-range scorer. But I believe it's Kawhi up there on that list, Jordan on that list, Kobe on that list, CJ McCollum on that list, and many others. That's my thoughts on it. Subscribe, get me to 100 subs. Let me know what y'all think. What other type of videos do y'all want? I'm out.